Hello everybody and welcome to the EMS ISD Athletics Showcase. I'm Steve Griffin. I'm setting in for Coach Barker today, and today we've got a show that's going to fixate on our middle school programs. And today we have coaches from Wayside and Wilkie Middle School here. We have BJ Kaiser and David Johnson from Wilkie, and we have Kelly O'Hara and Blake Learman from Wayside. And you guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What we want to do today is just kind of talk about what things are going well at our various campuses and some proud accomplishments that our coaches and teams have at this point in the season. So let me send it over to you, BJ. What's happening at Wilkie this year, and what are some things that have impressed you or that have gone real well at Wilkie?
We got a few new coaches this year, and I felt like they came in with a lot of experience. We got two coaches that came in that were head volleyball coaches at one time, and one that was a head basketball coach at one time. So I feel like that we have a lot of knowledge on our staff this year, which has really helped out with our younger kids and their knowledge of the game.
Some people don't know that many of our coaches at the middle school level have head coaching experiences. You yourself have head coaching experience. Where have you coached prior to Wilkie?
I was at Arlington High for 8 years. I was the assistant for 5 years, and then I got to be the head coach for 3 years.
And that was basketball, right?
Yes, sir.
David, what about the boys program over at Wilkie? What's going on with it, and what are some things that you can share with us?
Currently in our basketball program, our 8A team is currently undefeated at 10-0. They also won the Azle tournament. Our 7th grade A team has a 1 loss, and so our basketball programs are going very well. We also have a coach that was a head coach for many years, and I think Coach May's experience and knowledge definitely helps all of our younger coaches, as well as myself, to making us a stronger basketball program. Going back to football, our 8th grade A finished 6-3, had a very successful year we're really pleased with, and just all the new additions of coaches and pre-athletics, I think it's made for a very exciting and so far a very successful year.
And we'll get into pre-athletics in just a few minutes. What's happening down at Wayside?
Our coaching staff also has grown immensely. Coach Bradley and myself were the only 2 coaches to return, so we have 3 new coaches on the girls' side also, and it's really changed our program. We've got some strong basketball coaches now, some strong volleyball coaches. We did really well in volleyball, and we're improving in basketball. We're getting there. We'll get there.
All right. Coach Learman?
I have 4 new coaches working for me, and one of them with some experience, but the other 3 are pretty new to the job, and it's coming along really good. Our basketball programs are doing good, and we're looking forward to the tournament and then getting into track after that.
Some of our new coaches are due to new positions that came forth with our 6th grade PE athletics program, and so we're able to increase the number of coaches at our middle schools equal to what some of our surrounding areas have. And so if you all could think about the additional coaches, of course they're teaching in the classroom, what impact has that made just for being able to deliver a good practice or our teams? Wayside?
It makes it easier for us, because especially football wise, you can get more specific with kids. There's not, you don't have 100 receivers with you at one time. You can split them up and get more work done the more hands you have on deck while you're out there.
For the girls' side, I would say it's really impacted our off-season program, because we've always had 1 coach in the off-season program. And now we're able to have 2 coaches out there, that one can take the volleyball program and one can take the basketball, and it really has helped those kids that don't have to do basketball that play volleyball, and don't have to do volleyball that just play basketball, really do some fundamentals during every single day.
With the additional coaches, you mentioned basketball off season and more attention to regular off season, so our kids are getting better experience, and not everybody has to play football to be a part of athletics any longer, and so this has really helped out some kids who have other interests rather than forcing them into an athletic period. David, what do you have to say about just the off-season programs and the number of kids that you guys have that are doing various sports?
I would say very similar to what Blake said. It definitely, I do think you're able to watch over more kids. In the weight room, I tend to stay with the Olympic lifts, the cleans, snatches, and the jerks, and watch them. And now I get the chance when the kids are squatting, the different squats, that I have other coaches watch over them. So it definitely, I think it makes a better program. The kids are being able to get more coaching as a whole as they were in the past.
BJ, our sixth grade PE program is underway right now, and we have a philosophy and some procedures for them to be in the program. What are some things that you've seen as a benefit for your sixth graders at Wilkie with our PE athletics program?
I think structure, for the most part, structure and discipline. We have really stressed this year about them suiting out every single day, them getting in there, getting what they need to get done, back into their spot. We do journals once a week, which talks about nutrition, things that you should do at home, how you should be a lifelong learner of nutrition. We've also talked about discipline aspect of it. You know, what's going to be expected of you in 7th grade and 8th grade. And so I don't think it's going to be such a shock next year when they come to us. They're already going to know the basics in volleyball and basketball and track and soccer and throwing. And so they're going to be more prepared when they come to us as 7th and 8th graders.
Will you guys be able to assure me that we can do a jump stop and bank it off the glass next year?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I appreciate that. Our middle school coaches are oftentimes called to help the high schools, and so I'd like for you just to kind of briefly share with our audience today about your role with the high school in various capacities. So, BJ, why don't you start?
I'm in contact with Holly Houston, which is the coordinator, the girls volleyball coach at Chisholm Trail weekly. I mean, we talk really on a daily basis about the volleyball program. We work her two-a-days. We're up there for her camps. We go up there for games. We have a junior high night, which our kids really, really enjoy. And then Coach McFadden, which is the new girls basketball coach at Chisholm Trail, he is up quite a bit with us in our practices, and we talk about what he expects as they come to the high school, what offenses, defenses, and press and things like that. He's at all the games, and so it's really nice to be able to communicate and get along so well with our high school coaches.
All right, David.
As ours starts back in the summer, we have a week-long coaches meeting with the Chisholm Trail staff, because that's who, of course, Wilkie feeds to. Then when two-a-days begin, we actually are part of the two-a-days, the whole Wilkie staff, and we primarily work with the freshmen during the two-a-days out on the field, going through practices with them, into the weight room as well, where we're working with them. We also in the fall, as the season begins on Friday nights, we come over and it's various duties. It could be actually running the video camera to taking statistics for the coaches. So it just varies from game to game exactly what we'll do with the Chisholm Trail staff.
Ours is the exact same as Coach Kaiser said. We work all the volleyball clinics. We work all the basketball clinics. Coach Cook comes down regularly. Coach Anderson comes down. We work all the high school games. We get to see our girls from our level all the way up the progression. Coaching styles and philosophies, we talk a lot and make sure that they all align throughout high school as well as middle school.
All right. Blake?
Ours is very similar to what the Wilkie coaches do. One difference is my guys scout, though, on Friday nights rather than come to the game. And me and Coach Nichols, we do the stats for Boswell every Friday.
You know, as we kind of wind down here, our show today, if you could give some advice to parents whose kids are getting ready to be in middle school or the sixth graders right now about what they can do to encourage their kids or to get them training to be the best middle school athlete they can be, what advice, what word would you tell a parent what they could do? Blake?
I would say, keep them outside. Send them to the basketball courts and just let them work on those skills, just playing and having fun, and then we can grow from there once we get them in middle school and get real specific. But just being outside.
Kelly, do you want yours to go outside too?
In a way, I would like to see them involved. Just get them involved. Let them play the sport so that they've seen how it's going to run a full court game. In the sixth grade class, we're doing really well at hitting the fundamentals in a class period, but getting them to play a full game, they've never seen that. Let them go to a game. Let them watch it. Let them see it and experience it. Get them playing is what I would say.
David?
I would say pretty much the same thing. Work on their skills that they've been taught especially sixth graders from pre-athletics, work on the skills that they've been given. But also if there's camps available, wherever they may be, if they have the ability to go to a camp to enhance their skills, I'd love to see them go.
And BJ will kind of give the last word about what a parent could do to help their kids be successful.
Well, pretty much what David said. If you can have them in camps, the more camps that you can put them in, if it's basketball, volleyball, softball, soccer, whatever, as long as they're playing, touching a ball, learning the fundamentals of the game before they get to us in 7th and 8th grade helps a lot. And then just if you have a ball at home, pick it up, use it. I mean, you don't have to have a basketball court or a net. You can still do basketball and volleyball things with just a ball.
Well, we're very lucky in our district to have very conscientious coordinators. We ask a lot of them at their middle schools. Our high school coaches rely upon them for various aspects of getting kids involved and excited about moving up to the high school. And so from Coach Barker and myself, we're very pleased to have each of you as our coordinators at your respective schools, and we know you're working extremely hard to be the best role model and coach and teacher for your campus and your kids. So I want to thank you all for being with us today, and we'll kick it back to a commercial right now, and we'll bring on several other coaches from our other middle schools. So thanks, and we'll catch you later. And we're pleased to bring you a show today focusing on our middle schools. As you know, we have 5 middle schools in our district, and today we have our coordinators from Creekview and Prairie Vista with us today. We have Andrea Smith and Ben Huddleston. They're with Prairie Vista. And Tammy Sisk and Joe Nichols are with our Creekview Colts. So everybody, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Great. Hey, we've had a great year so far in middle school athletics. We're winding down basketball season. We just finished with the big C team tournaments this past weekend. I know that was exciting for everybody to participate in, and we've got middle school games this week, Monday, and we finish up with our district tournament on February 7th and 8th. And so to this point, you guys have had some successes during the year, and I'd like for each of you to kind of talk about some of the positive things that are going on at your campus and some things that you all are proud about and that your kids are proud about what's happening. So Andrea, how about the Lady Coyotes? What's happening over there?
Well, we're having a very successful basketball season. We have 3 teams that are, actually, if you count the C teams, 5 teams that are first or second in district right now. We'll be competing for those buys in that district tournament. And then 1 team that is, really improving as the season goes on. And volleyball was great. We really improved over the course of the year. Not maybe our strongest sport, but again, we've had some changes in our coaching staffs, and we see a lot of improvement in the kids over the year. So it's been a very successful year. We had a great cross country season, a great tennis season, and we're looking forward to track and soccer.
I really think Prairie Vista has a chance to be vying for the middle school cup this year if basketball continues on its path at this time.
I believe we are being competitive this year.
Ben, what about for the boys' side?
A lot what Andrea said with the girls. The boys have been very successful as well. The boys won the cross country in district this year. Tennis won district as well. Our 7th grade football team, they won district. Right now our 8th grade basketball team is in 2nd place in the district. Our C team basketball tournament, we just had our C team tournament this weekend. Our C teams have really improved. The 7th grade team won the district tournament this weekend, and our 8th grade got 3rd place. So a lot of improvements, and kids are playing really good this year.
Coach Sisk, I've been down to Creekview a time or two, and I know that you have a really good 7th grade group of basketball players going on. What about that group and other things about Creekview girls?
Yes, sir, we do have a good, strong 7th grade group basketball-wise. They were also really strong in volleyball. They were 2nd place overall in the district standings. And our 8th graders have shown great improvements from last year to this year. They like to play. They want to compete. They're getting some drive in them. And it's been really fun. We've had a good year as far as the kiddos that we're coaching.
Coach Nichols, what about on the boys' side?
8th grade, they work hard, very respectful. It's exactly what I ask of them every practice. They work real hard, very enjoyable to coach. 7th grade, they've had some winning records. 7th grade football, they went 7-2, and basketball right now they're sitting at 5-1. Both doing very well.
That's great. Like to have you all talk a little bit about it. Each of y'all are involved with your high school programs in some way. Football coaches have various responsibilities, and volleyball and basketball coaches also. Coach Nichols, could you kind of share with us kind of your role with Boswell as you all are? Boswell is your primary feeder pattern. What role do you play with Boswell as coaches?
For football, we're up there for first of all meetings, then we go to spring ball, work a lot with the varsity as well as the freshmen, then 2-a-days, and then once season begins, half of my group goes out and scouts on Friday nights, and myself and Blake Learman, shout out to Blake Learman, we do stats on Friday nights.
Tammy, what's the role of a middle school girls coach with our high school programs?
We do the same. We work with Coach Cook and Coach Anderson during basketball and volleyball. We work their camps. During the summer, work 2-a-days. We also, since we do have kiddos that go to Chisholm Trail, get into the Chisholm Trail volleyball camps and their 2-a-days as well, just to get some different ideas and feedback and drill information and things that they want to do. Just I'm a thief. I'll take drills, any drills that we can get. So we work a lot with our high school coaches, and then they'll come down and work with our kiddos in the spring, and throughout the year they'll come visit us every now and then.
Ben, I'd lead the kind of the same format to you. What do you all learn from the high school coaches that you can push down to your group? It's similar. You guys film and you guys do stats, and you're up there. But what are some of the benefits just for you as a coach or your other coaches of working alongside the high school kids and the high school coaches?
Well, I think that's probably one of the best things for a middle school coach is to work with the high school coaches, especially a beginning coach that maybe doesn't know a whole lot coming into the profession and seeing what it's supposed to look like. And a lot of middle school coaches want to end up at the high school, so that gives them a great opportunity to start at the middle school level and to see what coaching's all about, and then to give you the opportunity to work up to the high school level if that's what they want to do.
I'm going to shift gears right now and talk a little bit about our 6th grade PE athletics and what you guys are seeing. If our fans don't know, a 6th grader can choose to be in an athletics PE, or they can choose to be in lifetime fitness, and the athletics PE is a little more rigorous. They're working on developing as an athlete, and they're working on various aspects of learning the sports. So, Andrea, why don't you tell us a little bit about how 6th grade PE athletics is working at your campus, and some of the things that you're hopeful for about them as they become 7th graders?
It's going great. We've seen already just the benefit that we're going to see in the long run. Our 6th graders, we do a lot of agilities, we do a lot of weightlifting, we do a lot of running, and I know we were working with the 7th graders one day, and the 6th graders already do their agilities better than some of the 7th graders do. So we're already looking forward to that benefit. We're getting to work with them a lot skill-wise in some various sports, which I think will also show, especially us, have a big benefit, because we often have kids that don't come in that have a lot of experience, so we're getting to teach them some fundamentals and some skills that way when they do come in to the program, they'll already have some of that base knowledge that we've been missing over the years, so maybe we can progress a little quicker. But they are really doing a good job. They come in and get dressed every day. We do journals once a week, and so we're seeing already just a huge benefit. They're going to know what athletics is like when they come in. They're going to be prepared. So we're very excited for the next few years and see how this continues to develop.
Ben, how is a class period? You've got about 32 minutes to actually work with them. So what would that look like for a parent if they were to pop in and see this PE class? What would it look like?
Well, it's very intense because we don't have much time with them. They immediately come in when the bell rings. They go immediately to the locker room, get dressed, and then come out to the gym, and we check roll very quickly, and then we split up the regular PE kids and then the pre-athletic kids and get right into the workout. The workouts, we have them in groups because each 9 weeks we test various things, and kind of have an idea where the kids are currently, and they're working out with kids that are at their skill level, and then we rotate through the stations, agilities, and weight room, or sport specific, whichever we're doing that day.
Tammy, when you're looking at your 6th grade PE, what are some things that you're most proud of, or what you anticipate will pay a dividend in the future for a 7th grader?
Like Andrea said, I was excited about just little footwork drills that we're not going to have to reteach because they're already knowing. They're really picking that up quickly. And Coach Nichols and I were talking about the fact that they're learning that responsibility, and they're learning that respect and our creepy way, and their responsibility with the dressing out and making sure they have their proper shoes, making sure they've got their journals on journal day. The respect, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. The teamwork, they really, we've seen them kind of start taking care of each other and learning the rules of the game. We were playing a game the other day, and they just kind of took it upon themselves to kind of start sharing the rules, and we were kind of observing and watching them. That proud mom moment, hey, they're getting this, and they're kind of taking care of each other. So that's what we're looking forward to that.
Joe, whenever parents might hear weightlifting or testing, can you talk a little bit about the types of activities you're doing in the weight room, and that we're not trying to weigh kids down and have them lift the house as a 6th grader?
First of all, I got to give a shout out to my daughter. Today's her birthday. She's turning 9. Her name's Kylie. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Yes, in the weight room we have 8 and 12-pound bars that we ordered this year. We have them specifically for the 6th graders. We started the first 6 weeks not even pulling the bars out, just going over technique and proper form and how to breathe. And gradually we've gotten into the bars, but for the most part, we're going slow with them, and I've honestly been amazed at how well they're doing. These kids work so hard.
You all mentioned the journals, and so if I was a student, I would probably have a beginning time or a beginning weight or a beginning activity, and then I'd be able to chart that after a test, and I'd be able to follow my own progress, so I have a little accountability of knowing if I'm getting any better to myself. Can any of y'all speak to that aspect of it, of that in a few weeks we'll have tested a couple of times and kids are able to see their own progress?
Yeah, we also make a chart for them, and then we post them on the wall. We don't leave them up all the time, but we're about to start our next round of testing, and we'll put the last rounds up so they can go back and check and see, and then we'll add the next ones to it too. So yeah, absolutely, they can see their improvement speed-wise, because we test, we look at their verticals, their 40-yard dash time, a shuttle drill, 400, and push-ups and sit-ups, so they can see their strength improvement. Their sit-ups and push-ups, which push-ups, especially for girls, we notice even in 8th grade athletics, sometimes they can't do a push-up. So we're already seeing some of those dividends with those 6th graders lifting weights and practicing their push-ups a lot. Their form is improving dramatically.
Well, I know that they are, and I'm excited about what we've been able to do. And of course, we still cover our TEKs that a 6th grader would cover in PE, and making sure that they're being well balanced through PE. As we think about teachers and we think about coaches, it's a special person that can teach and coach and have 150 kids or even more during the day, and that type of being excited about going to work each day with kids who sometimes need a lot, but I know it's rewarding for you guys at the end of a year or at the end of a season to see how kids have grown. Joe, what makes a successful middle school coach, and why do you do it?
I do it because I enjoy it. And I get to work with Coach Sis. But I enjoy that age group, that age of kids. I mean, once they see how much you care, it's amazing what all they'll do. And they work hard. They do a great job.
Joe, how long have you been coaching?
7 years.
7 years. All at the middle school?
All at Creekview.
Great. I know you have a very good principal, and I know that she's glad to have you there. Tammy, why do you come back every day?
Because I've been at the middle school forever, 24 years. 2 of those years were not at the middle school level, and it's a new day every day. And you sit and you think, because you said, you know, some of those kids they're not, you know, it's just a potpourri. You've got all these different things, and you know, to know that, you know, you might be the brightest point in that kiddo's day, you know, it's rewarding. It's cool. I really like it.
All right, Ben, we'll ease on down to Prairie Vista. You've been at Prairie Vista, you know, all the time that you've been here in Eagle Mountain, Saginaw. What is rewarding for you?
Well, coaching middle school athletes, you really see their development. You know, at the high school level, they're already pretty good, and you may not see as much of an improvement. But at the middle school, a kid, and now with 6th grade pre-athletics, we're going to see them for 3 years. We're going to see a lot of improvement, just we have in the past with 7th to 8th grade, but now seeing them for 3 years, I expect to see a whole lot in that time, and that's very rewarding for what we do.
And Andrew, we'll give you the last word on being a middle school coach.
And much like Tammy, this is my 21st year, all but 2 at the middle school level. So you have to love them, and sometimes they're not lovable, but it is. That's even the lovable part. They are challenging, they're growing up, they're going through a lot, and they need people that love them, and that's probably the most rewarding part. You see their heart a lot of times, and you see their growth as a person and as an athlete, and that's why I go back every day.
Well, we are very proud of our middle school coordinators, and I can't think of a finer bunch of 10 people that we have in our district. You guys do care, you guys take care of your business. You're able to solve things that come up in a way that's kid-centered, and from Coach Barker and myself, we want to thank you for your work. So we're going to close this part of the show with our Creekview and Prairie Vista coaches, and we'll be right back in just a moment with Highland Middle School. And today we have the coaches, the coordinators from Highland Middle School. We have Jennifer Thomas and Kevin Martinson. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
As the year has gone on, our middle school programs are near past the midway point. Our basketball tournament will be next weekend, and then we'll start up with track and soccer. I'd like to know right now, how's the year been for Highland, and what are some highlights that you guys can share with our audience today about some of the good things and good teams that you've had over at Highland? Jennifer?
Well, so far so good. We've had some great athletes come through. Right now we're in basketball season, and we have a pretty stellar program with the 8th grade A team. They went undefeated last year, and right now they're still undefeated, and hoping to carry that out through the tournament as well. They didn't get the opportunity to play in the district tournament because of weather last year, so they're really looking forward to that. And then we have a 7th grade group that's doing really well. We have our B team that's undefeated right now, and our A team who is actually finally starting to build up and getting those wins in, so we're doing really good.
Coach Martinson, what about your football teams or basketball teams from earlier in the year across the country?
8th grade football went extremely well. I believe we finished 8-1 with our A team group in the 8th grade, and 9-0 with our B team group. Basketball, we started a little slow, but we've really progressed, and we've gotten a lot better. We've really kind of toned it back and focused on fundamentals, got back to the very basics, and we've seen results. So we're excited for the upcoming tournaments. We just completed our C team tournaments, and we had a lot of kids that participated. And they were really excited. I believe our 8th grade C team, they won all four games of their tournament, and then our 7th grade went 2-2. But again, we have 2 regular season games left against the Azle schools, and then our upcoming tournament next weekend, like you mentioned. So. we're excited.
Yeah, last year was a disappointing end of the year because of all the ice that we had, and so I know all of our teams are looking forward to our district tournament. What many people may not know is our district plays a key role in hosting tournaments, and many of the tournaments that our kids go to and other districts rely on us to host tournaments, and so we're pleased to have the facilities and the coaches that can run those tournaments so that our kids can play in front of our own fans and close to home. One of the things that we do in our middle schools is we try to encourage competition amongst our schools, and we've had the Middle School Athletic Cup over the last 2 years, and Highland has been the recipients of that, which basically means that over the course of the year their athletic programs have been at the top. There's a point scoring system, and so for 2 years in a row Highland has been recognized as the you could say the best overall program, and so I know our coaches are very proud of that. How do you all use that as motivation for your kids at your campus, and how important is that for your school?
Well, actually, we talked to the kids about it, and it's kind of become a tradition now that we've got it for the second year, and so it's a good motivator. A lot of the kids talk about how, they've asked some questions about, well, where are we right now with this, and I tend to keep up with the points quite frequently just to see where we are, and I think it's a great motivation for the kids. It gives them something else to look to contribute in every sport-wise, rather than just one sport being the dominant of things. It takes the whole school and all the sports to make it a successful program.
Go ahead, Kevin.
We found on the boys' side that it encourages each other, 7th grade across to 8th grade, football, basketball, tennis, soccer coming up, that if we see somebody kind of not working hard on a day, that they're reminded that their achievements or their results are going to matter in the grand scheme of things. So it kind of helps us to keep each other accountable at school when we might not be having our best day, that every little thing that we do is going to hopefully bring that that cup back to Highland.
Well, all of our middle schools are excellent middle schools, and I know Highland's student success as it relates to testing in the classroom and performance on the athletic floors and fields are a testament to all the teachers and staff and coaches and principal Karen Presley at your campus. They all really care about everything that they do and want to be the best that they can possibly be. So kudos to Highland over the last 2 years. I know it's going to be a fierce competition as we end basketball season and go into track and go into soccer. Speaking of soccer, that's something new for our campuses, and while you don't have any direct role in coaching soccer, can you talk to us a little bit about how soccer is developing at your campus and kind of the what's happening with soccer?
Well, I think our coaches are doing a great job so far. They're getting the kids out there each and every day that they can, getting them involved, talking to the kids who aren't currently in the class period, and getting them excited about the season coming up. And a lot of the kids are really excited that we brought this in. There's so many that have not found their niche in something in the sports that we've had in the past, and now that soccer's available, we've got a lot of extra kids that are really excited about it.
I think it's also been a vehicle to get kids involved in other sports that maybe weren't involved in athletics last year, 7th graders that are 8th graders this year. I know that we've had at least a half a dozen or so soccer players that were asked to run cross country earlier this season, and talking to them, they wouldn't have done that had it not been for the encouragement of their soccer coaches. So they really got involved in that and enjoyed it and excelled. So it's really been a vehicle just as an overall participation. And then, like Jennifer said, our coaches are really creative. Sometimes it's too cold outside in the middle of winter during soccer class to go outside, but they bring the kids into the gyms and set up games going across the gyms, and they have drills going on in one part of the gym. And so they're extremely creative, and it seems like they're very passionate about what they do. So we're excited for the upcoming soccer season at Highland too. Soccer season will begin,
practice will begin March 16th, and our games are the first part of April that will be played at our high school stadiums. As part of bringing soccer into the district, we also brought on 6th grade, a little different avenue of developing 6th grade PE, which brought a few more coaches onto the staff. The girls' staff increased by 1, and the boys' staff increased by 2. What can you tell us about being able now with more coaches to be able to do your jobs better, or to be able to get kids coached in a more fulfilling way?
I think that our kids, being such a wide variety of athletic ability and having some of that background knowledge or having zero background knowledge, the amount of coaches that we've been able to bring on has really helped us give those kids that need the one-on-one attention some more of that one-on-one attention, and break them down into smaller groups and have those conversations about what's expected of them and how they get better, whether it's the basics or whether it's some of the more finer details for those kids that have had some experience. So it's been exciting. It's allowed us to make sure that we address the needs of all kids across the board in a little bit more effective way with the higher number of coaches that we have at school.
What do you think what would you anticipate the impact of 6th grade PE athletics being on next year's 7th grade class?
Oh, I think it's going to make a huge impact. The kids are getting an idea of what athletics is all about at an earlier stage. A lot of times it's a shock to the kids when they come in because expectations are really high when you get into the athletic program. We have so much to do and so little time, and so getting the kids into just getting into a simple day-to-day routine when they haven't had it before can take up a lot of time. And so with pre-athletics, we've gotten them basically running the same schedule as what we do in our athletic period, the same amount of time to get dressed, to get out there, our expectations, what we're looking for, teaching them about work ethic. And also a big thing is about just communicating with the coaches. A lot of times we have issues where the kids just won't come and talk to us about things, and then there's a breakdown. And so getting the kids to feel more comfortable to come in, talk to us about things, and to ask the questions. We tell the kids all the time, this is the time to ask, and so I think it's going to make a huge impact. It's going to get us, I think, further along quicker than what it has in years past.
Well, we hope so. If you were giving advice, we have a lot of programs that we want kids to be involved in, whether it's summer camps or in-year camps, performance course, or soccer training. If you could give a word of advice to parents who have a 3rd, 4th, or 5th grader about what they should encourage their kids to do at a young age to be ready to be in competitive athletics, what would be some advice you would give?
I would say basically, the more you get involved in something, the more you touch the ball, the more you're going to learn from it. Never just settle for, I've got the skill, I know how to do this. You've got to continue to improve it. So get them out there, get them involved, so that they're getting more experience as they go.
One thing that we've really encouraged our kids, even at the 6th grade level, is to go and watch basketball, middle school basketball. Go and watch their classmates or their schoolmates. Go and watch high school basketball, because you'll see a wide variety of kids that you'll see also in the 6th grade. Those kids that really work on their ball handling skills or really work on the details of things outside of school, in school, and they really take to coaching. So we're asking kids to learn the rules through watching, and then once they watch and once they become more comfortable with that, then make sure that we're getting out and we're practicing, not just during our practice at school, but when you go home, as much as you can, get a ball in your hands, like Coach said. So it's been interesting to see the development of our 6th graders up to this point through the first semester, and we're really excited to continue to get the ball in their hands more and more, and hopefully watch their growth continue. Many parents
Put their kids in YMCA or upwards basketball or various opportunities to learn the game, and our district offers through some of our partners various skill camps. Would you encourage our parents to place their kids in performance course or soccer, or we'll have a big volleyball camp coming up in May at our high schools for elementary kids, and playing club volleyball? You probably see a big difference on the volleyball side, Jennifer, about kids who've played club and kids who haven't.
Right. There is a great significance to doing this, because I can say personally, I put my son, who's in 3rd grade, in the performance course when we had it, and just from the time that they started in that short amount of time, the improvement that I saw and what he was capable of doing once they got done was amazing. And so I would definitely push for the performance course. They need it for all sports. As far as the volleyball is concerned, anything really, the club is a great thing. The kids are getting more touches on it, and the more that our kids can work together really helps out too, because they get comfortable. A lot of schools that we've played in years past, that these kids grew up together playing in club all the way through, and they become powerhouses, and they're like, how do we get there? Well, if you start early playing together as a team, it makes it easier and transition into the school team as well. And so, I highly encourage them to get involved in those clubs.
I think that hosting a lot of our performance courses at our high schools and a lot of these skill campuses at our high schools and our middle schools is a huge benefit, just for that fact. When the kids sign up for them, they're all taking part in these camps together, and the more that they can work together as a group and encouraged throughout the summer, throughout the off season, they're going to see the benefits of that on the court or on the field as well.
One of our goals, parents, is to bring quality coaching and quality camps to our district at a cost that is easy on a parent's budget. We know there's a lot of opportunities out there for kids to participate in things, and one of our goals is to bring quality coaching outside of our normal seasons. And so the district provides that in a variety of capacities, and we'd like for you to look at our website and call us for details about the various opportunities that we have coming up this spring and throughout the year. So as we kind of wind down this episode of the Athletics Showcase, Coach Barker and I would just like to commend you guys on a successful program at Highland. Sometimes when I need to know the answers, I call Jennifer. She's very diligent about knowing what we've done in the past or what we can do to make things better. And Kevin is new to our district. This is his completing his second year, and we're very glad that Kevin and his wife have moved to our district and to participate in one of our guys and girls here. So I want to thank you all for coming today, and know that there's big things planned at Highland and to go Hawks. So as we wind up today, we want to thank everybody here at the Hollenstein Center for another successful program, and we'll see you next week on the EMS ISD Athletics Showcase.